Hi friends, this is Sarojay here. Welcome to my networking channel. Hope all are doing good. And today the topic I'm going to discuss about global load balancing protocol weighting. So what is weighting and how to determine that value? So before that let us understand what is GLBP. GLBP is a global load balancing protocol which is Cisco proprietary. So there are two things you have to keep it in mind about GLBP. One is ABG and AVF. So it performs load balancing in a round robin fashion in which the load is distributed evenly to all the clients. So what is ABG? ABG is selected by the router with the highest priority or with the highest IP address. ABG we call it as an active virtual gateway. So one will be elected as a primary and the other one will be elected as a secondary. So both will be sharing the hello messages every 3 seconds. So if the standby ABG does not hear any hello message for a period of 10 seconds hold on timer, what happens? This will goes down and standby will AVG will take over the active role. So this is how the primary AVG and the secondary AVG election happens. So the primary AVG, what is the role of AVG? So whenever the client sent an ERP request, so whenever it sends an ERP request, it will send a ERP request for the VIP IP, that is a virtual IP. The AVG will answer the ERP request. So it will send an ERP reply, and the reply contains all the virtual MAC address which is going to send to the individual client. So the load balancing is done with the help of single virtual IP and multiple virtual MAC address which is assigned to the individual client. So that is how the load balancing happen, right? So this AVF role is active virtual forwarder. So which role is it is used to forward the traffic sent to the virtual MAC address to the individual client. So that is the purpose of active virtual forwarder. So AVG is elected by the router with the highest priority or the highest IP address. And the second function is it will answer the ERP request. That means it will send a ERP reply, and the reply contains the virtual MAC address sent to the individual client, right? So that is a function of AVG, and AVF is used for forwarding the traffic sent to the virtual MAC address to the individual clients. So that is the way, and the load is distributed in a sequential and a evenly load fashion. So how it is load balances. So first the client will get the MAC address 01, second 02, 03, then again 01. So it goes in evenly and in a round robin fashion. So that's the default behavior of GLBP. So now let us see what is the weighting value. So what is the purpose of weighting? Before that, I also told that AVG will assign its own router the active virtual forwarder. So each and every router, one group will be for active virtual forwarder. So there are three forwarders, right? So this will be active virtual forwarder for one group, and this will be for another group, and this will be for another group. That is the way AVG assigns its own router the active virtual forwarder group, right? So what is the purpose of weighting? So weighting is used to determine which router we want to perform the active virtual forwarder role. So if I don't want this router to perform the active virtual forwarder, otherwise if I want to give this role to some other router, so in that case I can use GLBP weighting value. So there is a weighting and an automatic tracking function. So what happen whenever assume this is an interface, this interface goes down. So whenever a specific interface goes down, this weighting value will be decreased, and automatically it can send the AVF role to another router. So that means we will set a specific threshold value, right? There will be upper and the lower threshold value. So I'm going to show what is the thing I'm going to show now. So go to ESW1, show this is the configuration I have done. GLBP 10 weighting. So the default weighting value is 100. So weighting 100 and the lower threshold is 70 and the upper threshold is 90. So here I configure the decrement value, that is 50. So the default weighting value will be 100. So whenever a specific, so I have done the tracking also. So let us do show run include track. So it will track a specific interface. So when a specific interface goes down, right? Specific interface goes down, automatically this corresponding value will be decremented by 50. So that is the purpose of decrement. So track 1, decrement 50. That I would track with the corresponding interface faster than at 1 by 1. So when the specific interface goes down, the weighting value will be decreased from 100. Default weighting value is 100. So it will decrease from 100 to this 50. So the weighting value will becomes a 50. So as per the threshold, what happens? It rises if it falls below this threshold value. So this is a lower threshold. So the weighting value 50 falls below the threshold. So the 50 is lesser than the 70, right? So if it falls below the threshold value, automatically this will give up the role. That means it will assign this AVF role to this another router. So here already AVF will be active for one router. So that will also goes to listening stage, and automatically this will take over the active role. So that is the purpose of configuring the weighting value. So again, if the rate weight rises above this upper threshold value, so again, if I'm activating the interface, it will rise above this upper threshold value, then automatically it will resume the AVF rule. So I'm going to show by configuration. So let us go to the individual thing. So what I'm going to do, as per this configuration, I'm going to perform the manual shutdown of this interface. So this fast Ethernet one by one, I'm going to shut down. Before that, let us see the individual behavior. So let us do the show GLBP. You can see here. So there are the priority is 200 or the waiting is 100 and the lower is 70. Threshold value upper is 90. Since you configure the decrement value, so the decrement value is 50. So the weight will goes below 50, right? So the waiting value becomes a 50. So let us see. So there are three forwarders, right? Forwarder 1, 2. So here the forwarder 3 is active, right? The forwarder 3 is active for this corresponding group. This is a virtual MAC address which is going to assign to the client. So this is a group and 0 is for GLB. That is a group for VLAN 10. The VLAN 10 is A and 03 is a AVF group. AVF number we call it as a 03. So forwarder 3 is active for this corresponding ESW1. Let us see for ESW2. So go to show GLBP. So it is also one for, there are three forwarders, but one is active. It is showing, right? One is active. So this is active for the forwarder 02. So this is active for the forwarder. First one is for active for the forwarder 03, right? So the second one, let us see the second one. Second one is 02. And let us see the third one. Show GLBP brief. So this is active for the forwarder 01, right? So one is 01. And what is the first one we saw? First one is for active for the forwarder 03 and second is for 02. So this is a scenario if I'm not doing any shutdown. So now I'm going to shut down this corresponding interface. So now you can see the changes. Let us do a shutdown. So go to configuration mode, interface faster than at one by one. So after the shutdown, what happens is automatically it will release this active forwarder role. So it will release the role and it will assign to some other router. I'm going to do a shutdown now. So that is the purpose of tracking interface. So this interface will be correspondingly tracked and it will, as per the weighting value, default value is 100. So it will decrease the weight from 100 to 50 and automatically it will assign the AVF role, active virtual forwarder role to this corresponding router. Let us see now. It will take some time. Let us see. Show GLBP brief. So it will release the role and automatically let us see the interface. Show run interface fast Ethernet one by one. So it is in shutdown mode. Now it will immediately release the role. See, so it took some time. Then what happened? Automatically, this group, right? This went into listening stage. Previously, it was inactive. So it went into listening stage, and this group, right, this active virtual forwarder group 2 will be assigned to some other router. Let us see what router it is. Show GLBP brief. So this is the active virtual forwarder. So it should be assigned to the third router. That is ESW3. Let us see. So previously there was only one active. Now let us see. There will be two active groups. So it becomes active for first router and also the third router because the first active virtual forwarder already it is went to the listening stage because of the tracking parameter. Automatically this has been assigned to this third router. So now all the three forwarders are active. So this is for active for one forwarder group and this is active for two forwarder groups. So totally there will be three forwarder. So then still the load balancing to the clients will not get affected. So still all the clients will get the traffic in a round robin fashion. So I'm going to show now. So let us do a trace. So I'm going to do a trace to this corresponding 4.2. Let us do a trace from this client to this corresponding IP. So all the things I configured in VLAN 10. Client IP is in 10.6, 10.7, 10.8 and 10.9. So now let us do a trace from here to 4.2. Let us go here. So trace 4.2. So now, right, still it is the trace is going, and now let us see the ARP request. So ARP request you are able to see 10.1. What is the group it is getting? 02. 02 is active virtual forwarder group. Let us see for the second one. So sometimes there will be interruption in this corresponding trace route. So what you can do, you can just do a clear MAC address table. So let us do the clear MAC address table and go to ESW2, clear MAC address table, and also go to ESW3, clear MAC address table, and there is one more router, ESW4. So now let us do the trace from the second router. So now I'm able to do the trace. Now let us see the R. So now it will be having the second group, that is 02, this is 03, and let us see the ARP thing. So ARP will be, this will be 01, so that will be some other group. So now let us do ARP. So ARP, this will be 02, right? So it will assign in a sequential fashion or in a round robin fashion. Even though this went down, it went to the listening stage, still it will be active and the load will be equally distributed to all the clients in a round robin fashion. So that is the purpose. So the weight falls first, the first scenario we have seen. So the weight falls below this lower threshold, automatically it will release its role and it will give the role to the other router. The second thing what I'm going to do, now I'm going to activate this interface again. So now I'm going to reactivate the interface again. The first interface is shut down. I already told the weight falls below the threshold value. It will release the AFF role. It will give to some other router, right? So that's the reason it went to all the routers went to the listening stage. That is all the active virtual forwarder MAC went to listening stage. So now I'm going to do a reactivate of this interface. I'm going to activate this interface. Automatically it will resume the role. So that is the purpose of automatic interface tracking, and collectively I'm configuring waiting parameter and this interface value. So whenever this interface is tracked, automatically when this goes up and down, based on that it will change the parameter, right? So I'm going to reactivate the interface. So interface fast Ethernet 1 by 1, no shed. Automatically what happens, this interface should, so it is tracking the interface, right? That is a command track. It is tracking the interface, and immediately you can see this, it will resume the active forwarder role. So this will become active forwarder for one active virtual group. Let us see. Show interface fast Ethernet 1 by 1. So this is the thing you have done, right? So it is up. So it will should come up immediately. So now you are able to see, right? It becomes immediately active. So because of this corresponding role, so it suddenly it rises above this. Once I'm activating this interface, it will rise above the specific threshold value, and automatically this it will resume its active forwarder role. That is the reason you are seeing it is become active for one active forwarder group. That group is 03. So let us see for other router also. It will again the same. It went to standby mode, and this is active. So this is, it will resume the normal operation. So that is the way purpose of using GLBP waiting parameters. It is used to determine which router becomes the active virtual forwarder for a specific group. That is the purpose of GLBP waiting. So the first scenario we saw, the GLBP, the waiting rises below the certain threshold value. Automatically this interface, if I'm shutting down, if it rises below the threshold value, automatically this will release its AVF role, and it will give assign to the AVF role to other router. But if I'm reactivating again, automatically it will resume its AVF role again. So that is the purpose of GLBP waiting parameter. So I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos. Thanks and have a wonderful day. Thank you.